What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I am super excited to show you this home, this community. So here's the outline, guys. I'm going to show you this property. We're going to start on the outside. I'm inside right now just because they are still working on homes in this subdivision and you can hear the loud music of the construction workers, and I want to make sure that you can hear me clearly. Then we're going to come inside, do a quick tour. After the home tour, we're going to go to the amenity center, which is my favorite. I'm going to show you what this community has to offer. So let's go ahead and get started. As you can see, I am wearing a hard hat. I was literally harassing the sales person to get me one of these because they're so cute. So I want to touch base on this home and the journey just a little bit because I think it's super important. And it's also going to showcase how important it is to have proper representation. So as a home buyer, when you visit new construction sites and new construction homes, yes, there are sales consultants that are available to help you and they're amazing. However, using a realtor or having a realtor represent you in the new construction journey is so important. And I just want to quickly narrate as to why. So my buyers are closing on this home. I'm walking the actual home that my buyers are closing on this Thursday. Super excited. And if they hadn't had me as their realtor, and obviously every realtor is different, everybody has a different work ethic, everybody is differently passionate about their job. As for me, you guys can tell from my videos, from my social media, I am very passionate about what I do, and I know that I'm talking about myself just a little bit because as your realtor, I think it's really important to know who you're working with. So that's why I try my hardest to showcase who I am throughout my entire social medias. So if you don't already follow me on all my other media bases, please do so. They'll be in the description box down below. I value my business and I center it around three things: love, God, and grace. So I know that when I'm helping, whether it's on the buy side or sell side, I am putting my needs in the back, obviously, and putting my seller and buyer interest first. It doesn't matter the money, it doesn't matter anything, it doesn't matter if I like or don't like the home. I am there to be their protector, their guidance, their knowledge, and their value. And I do things with God in my heart. So I know that every time that I intervene in the journey, it's to make things right and to make sure that they're getting the absolute most out of the journey than they would have if they didn't have me. For example, this home, if my buyers didn't have me on this journey with them, they would have had to pay at closing. I believe it was about almost $1,000. They were told XYZ things, that they were gonna get XYZ, and then as we got the documents in from the loan officers, I, as your realtor, I look at everything, absolutely everything. I'm not a loan officer, so I stay in my lane, but I know how to read loan estimates and CDs or closing disclosures. I know how to do all of that because I educated myself so that way I'm more valuable to my clients and I can read those documents and ensure that they're getting exactly what they should be getting. So I reviewed all the documents. Turned out they were actually gonna have to take money to closing, and I said no. So I went ahead and did what I needed to do to make sure that they got exactly what they were told that they were gonna give. I made sure their interest rate was locked in at 5%. I made sure that they were getting all closing costs covered. I made sure that their home was at my standard, and my standard is up here because I know that I want to provide an experience that is recommended and remembered for my clients, and that is my motto. So long story short, now my clients are closing on this home on Thursday, getting back money. I know. So imagine if they didn't have me as their realtor. Buyers don't know. We don't know what we don't know, right? And they're very new to the process. This is their first home. And so they didn't know how to read these loan estimates, these closing disclosures. They don't know the journey. And if somebody on the loan side would be like, oh, you're fine, this, which they did, and I stepped in, I said, no, it's not okay. We need to go ahead and correct this. They would have ended up taking money to closing, and with me on their side, battling for them, making sure that everything was taken care of, now they get money at closing. So that is not to scare you away from new build homes. Absolutely not. I think new build homes are amazing. They have amazing product. There's so many different new construction communities in our city that have so much to offer. My point is that it's just a great thing to have great representation by your side because people make mistakes, numbers get confusing, anything can happen in the journey. And so having a very thorough realtor that is passionate and is going to make sure and see through the entire journey can be very, very, very beneficial to you. So with all that being said, if you guys have any questions, reach out to me. My number is here on the screen. It does not obligate you to work with me, but I'd love to jump on a phone call, see if we're a great fit, and talk about your home buying process, your selling process. How can I help you? I do land, residential, investment, commercial, new construction, or pre-owned. So let's go ahead and get started on your journey. Now, let's go ahead and dive into this home. Okay guys, so right now we are in Henny Hollow. That's what I like to call it. However, the community is called Hennersby Hollow. It's over here on the far west side of San Antonio. Honestly, the west side and south side of San Antonio is growing tremendously, especially going towards Castroville. This is we're going in that direction. We're off of 90, so we're pretty far out, but honestly, this is a great community and I'm excited to show you what this has to offer. So right now we are in one of the streets. This is the home that I will be showing you today. It's over 2,600 square feet, a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, or 3. I can't remember. There's too much going on through my head, but I'm gonna show you this. But before we dive on in, let's go ahead and take a look at a couple more homes nearby. As you can see, majority of the exterior is going to be siding. It's gonna be a combination of siding and brick, which is very lovely. Majority of the neighborhoods look exactly like this as far as space in between homes, which I think is perfect. The HOA here is $1,000 a year, which is actually really not bad. Right now they are giving amazing incentives. They're covering all closing costs and you can lock in at a 3.99 right now. So if you want more information, give me a call. And this is kind of what it looks like. Okay, so let's go ahead and start the tour now. I don't know if you guys can hear the music, but it's funny because I actually really love that music. I'm from the Valley, so it's calling my name. Alrighty guys, so this is going to be the home that we're going to be touring today. This is the exact home that my buyers are closing on, and I'm excited to show you guys. We have a 2-car garage. We have a, obviously your combination exterior of brick and siding. You have a nice covered area here in the front by your front door to put any chairs, a little small table, what may have you. I can only imagine the Halloween and Christmas decorations that this community is gonna bring your way, because when I show you guys the amenity center, there's so many families in this area. Whether you have a big family, small family, no family, this is the place for you. Let's go ahead and dive on in. Okay. Whew, feels good in here. As we come on in, you're gonna have your small entry area here. I believe this is a nice space to put some nice decor, not necessarily a place to hang out and lounge. I would either make this into a nice entry room with just decor to showcase your personality of your family. Maybe even make this into a small little cute library, and then, or an office space, whichever, you know, fits your character. I think this is a nice space to really pronounce who you are. Then you have this nice long hallway to really decorate and put anything on the wall, decorate it to you and your family before we make our way into the main area. So let's go ahead and continue. Here we're gonna have our half bath. Just your standard half bath, which is perfect, so that way you don't have to have anybody go upstairs. All of the rooms on this floor plan are upstairs. So to avoid people going up, you have a quick half bath here for all your guests to enjoy. Through here is gonna be your garage. You saw it from the outside, but I will open it nonetheless. Here we go. Just a quick fact, they do not include garage door openers, so that is something that you can install upon closing or after closing. And then they don't complete the garage either. They're always gonna look like this. I think I've mentioned that in prior videos, but just to reiterate. Then we have here our kitchen. So here in the kitchen, we have plenty of cabinet space. We have plenty of counter space. We'll have a beautiful island in the middle. I'm gonna go around here. You have your breakfast area here, or your dining space. It's big enough to put a large dining table or just a small breakfast table to look out into your backyard, but it's pretty big, so you can do either or. Then this is gonna be your other view of the kitchen. I think it's gorgeous. You have your sink in the middle. All appliances included as well, guys. So gonna make our way through here. You do have a little bit of space, as you can see, for some bar stools. I wouldn't necessarily sit there. I don't think it's deep enough to let your feet hang. Maybe just some cute bar stools there to create personality and decoration. I love the white cabinets. I love the granite countertops that they chose as well. And then you do have a walk-in pantry. This pantry is perfect size. Here's the view from here. It's beautiful. You have 9-foot ceilings. Then we're gonna make our way to the main living area. Check out this main living area. You have a great view from your kitchen, not only to your breakfast area here, but to your living area. So you can keep eye on maybe your dogs, your children, your guests, whoever is here in your home. You have direct access to them if you're maybe cooking. Just imagine the Super Bowl or football game going on and it's over there on the TV. You're still able to view it from the kitchen, which is really nice. I love when the kitchen oversees the living area. It just makes for easy conversation. But yes, this living area is pretty big. I love it. It just so much room for activities. And then you get these 2 gorgeous windows to look into your backyard, which we will go out there. And then in the living area, you do have a closet space. Okay, so this is all of the first floor. While I'm here, usually I do the backyard last, but we'll just do it now since I'm here. This is gonna be your backyard. It is not a covered area, but you could always do that or install that afterwards. You do have a small concrete slab here. I've seen a lot of my buyers, they always extend it so you can put more chairs, a grill, what may have you. So you can always have those ideas running in your head when you purchase this property. There's just so much room for your own creativity to do upon closing. So here is the backyard. Ooh, it is hot today. I think this backyard is perfect size. It's not too big, it's not too small. I think it's amazing. And my buyers, it's just 2 and their baby. So this is plenty of room. I believe they are gonna be building the back. Right now they don't have backdoor neighbors, but I believe there are still gonna have plans to continue the master plan that way. So as years go on, you are going to have properties back there. I'm gonna show you guys the back of the house. Okay, this is really squishy. Shouldn't have done that. But this is the back of the home, just so you guys can see it really quickly. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and make our way inside. All right, so let's go ahead and make our way to the upstairs or the second level. For these stairs, you are going to have carpet. Okay, so once you reach the top of the second level, you're gonna take a quick right, and this is where you're gonna have your small loft area. You can make this into really anything. It's a generous amount of size. It's not too big. It is just enough to make personal. Then you're gonna have your primary also on this right side. It's gonna be separate from all of the other bedrooms. So let's go to the primary first. The primary bedroom is large and in charge. I love it. And you have 2 windows that give you direct access to your backyard, which is awesome. So if your kids are playing out there, your dogs, you can quickly see them if you're not downstairs. So here's another view of the bedroom. Then we're gonna go to the access to their full bath. But before we do that, this is gonna be extra storage here, which is nice. Right across that, you're gonna have your primary closet. It's gonna be a walk-in closet, really nice. There's so much room to add extra shelving, extra anything to really make it more. We have plenty of room. And then of course, you're gonna have your primary bath. It is a single vanity. I love the white, it's very sleek. Huge mirror. I do wish it was a double vanity, but we can always do that later. That's something that you could always install on your own. And then you're gonna have your toilet there, and you're gonna have a walk-in shower only. Standing shower, no combo of tub. It's very nice. All right, so this is all of the primary. Now we're gonna make our way on the other side of the stairs. Like I mentioned, to the right is going to be your loft and then the primary. Now when you come up the stairs and you take that left, that is where you're going to have all of your remaining guest bedrooms. You have guest bedroom number 1 right here. It's going to have your closet here. Closet is the first thing you see. And then you're going to have that room. This you have view of the front. This is a gorgeous home. It's huge and there's so much space. It's a 4-bedroom. It's awesome. You're going to have now long hallway. Here you're going to have extra storage space. As we continue down, you're going to have access to your full bath here. Kind of like the primary, it's very similar, except obviously the counter space here is a lot smaller. And then you have the shower tub combo. And then you have your washer and dryer room. It is upstairs. It's right adjacent to your guest bedrooms, so that's good. And then you have your other 2 guest bedrooms. You see how it just keeps giving? It's a huge house. This is going to be guest bedroom number 2 or 3. Sorry, 3. You're going to have a cute little closet space here. Look at the little window. I think it's adorable. You rarely see bedroom closets with windows, so I think that's really nice. They actually all have them except for the very first one I showed you. So these 2 guest bedrooms are going to have windows in the closet. So this is your other guest bedroom. They're really nice sizes too. I know that video doesn't do justice. So when I'm here in person, I'm letting you know that these are really nice sizes. Then we're going to come through here. You're going to have your closet space. Walk-in closet. And then the little window. And that's it, guys. This is the entire home. All right, guys, so that was the entire home tour of the property. Now we're gonna make our way to the amenity center, and I'm super excited to show you that. It is gorgeous, has a lot to offer, so let's go ahead and head that way. So this is the outside of the amenity center before we dive on into the pool area. But you're gonna have 2 entrances to access the amenity center. You're gonna have one from that end or that end, just depending on where your home is. But you have multiple ways to obviously come into the center. So here is a better view of where it's at. You're gonna have your playground area to the side over there. And you have a lot of space for parking. There's gonna be additional parking on that end too. So as you can see, the park, pretty nice. It has a pretty decent slide set. You also have some monkey bars, you know, your original playground area. It is pretty high too. I want to say it's like 3 stories high. Perfect amount of area for your kiddos to play. And then you're gonna have some space there to sit, watch your children. There's also a barbecue pit to the side if you can see it, and you can cook out there while your kids are playing. So this is gonna be it. You're gonna have additional parking here. Then we're gonna enter into the main gazebo right here. So through here on this side is gonna be your, I want to say kind of your area to host events, because you can in there. That is your air conditioned space. There is going to be a bar in there with actual alcohol, and then of course regular beverages for your children or those who don't drink. And you can reserve this area so that way you can host parties. And then on this side you're going to have your bathrooms for easy access from the pool area. Thank you. I just want to show it real quick. So this is what it looks like. That's going to be the bar area. Alright, so this is going to be the main pool area. You have a covered area here with some seating there, and then boom, look at this $9 million pool area, or really the entire amenity center, but this is the main attraction, of course. And I did want to mention that in order to access these areas, you do have a key fob, so only those who reside in Henny Hollow are going to have those key fobs to access this area. So of course you're going to have seating spaces. And then let's take a look at this. It's literally like a lazy river. This is Schlitterbahn, but for a housing community. And then when it's active, you have that bucket that just pours out water. Literally what Schlitterbahn does as well.
They're provided from the HOA, yes. So we have about 77, but we only take 31.
So if I have a view of the pool area from the top, which I will ask around to get, it's literally a huge zigzag that you just float all throughout the design or layout, and you're just floating. It's literally a lazy river. That's what they created here for their residents, which I think is genius. Of course, I don't know what those are called. I forgot. I haven't been to Schlitterbahn in a really long time. But the floaties are available to use. They have about 70, but right now there's only about 30 out. And then they have little waterfalls in the middle. It's so cute. I think this is such a beautiful idea and design. And then, of course, this is like the kiddo area. Obviously, you have different levels. I see over there 3 feet. Here it's 1 foot, 6 inches there. I don't know how deep this goes, but I'll definitely leave it all in the description box down below so you can read additional details. So that's 3 feet 6 inches, so it gets pretty deep. I want to say maybe it goes all the way to maybe tops 4 feet, but this is gorgeous, isn't it? You don't even have to worry about going to Schlitterbahn or Six Flags, because if you live here in Henny Hollow, you have Schlitterbahn in your backyard. Alrighty guys, thank you so much for tuning into my video. I hope you enjoyed this tour. I hope you enjoyed the amenities just as much as I have. As I've always mentioned to my clients, you can't really get a good grasp of the houses or the amenity center or the neighborhood until you are here in person. So if you would like a personal tour of this community, give me a call. My number is always here on the screen and we can set that up. And if you have any additional questions about what their other floor plans look like, what the payments can look like for you and your family, if you would like to envision yourself in this community, the best way to go about it is to walk here in person. So other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will see you on the next one. Bye.